Have you ever been in a toxic relationship?
Like, I was very naive, where like I need a guy to like hit me up.
He did cheat, but like,
A lot of guys, like, they could say it, but then they'll still lead you on and
yeah.
kind of.
So we are back here again. Yes, this is pre-recorded. So yes, we are in the same
Yeah.
outfits.
It's just part 2.
Facts.
That's
This
it.
is literally just part 2
Yeah.
because we honestly started talking about something. And we was like, we need to touch on that.
Yeah.
Like honestly. So what is going on, you guys? Welcome to Dorm Room 101 podcast. I am your girl Maya, and I'm here with my roomie again, Victoria.
Hello.
So we're excited to start this new journey together.
Yes.
But my question: have you ever been in a toxic relationship?
So I have. So it was probably like during like my high school year. I was
Oh.
really young, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was probably like 16,
Mhm.
first relationship. And yeah, it was just bad.
What was bad about it?
It was more of my ex was toxic. I wouldn't
Period.
say like
It wasn't.
yeah, it was just a situation where like he wasn't good for me
Mhm.
and I kept going back to him. Like I was very naive
Yeah.
and I just kept going back and still dealing with it. And it was just like
Yeah.
a back and forth kind of thing and yeah. But it was never in a sense of like was no physical or
Okay,
anything
okay,
like that.
good.
So yeah, but I was just very young, I would say,
Yeah.
and I just felt like I didn't know no better.
Better. Yeah. Okay. I understand. Period.
What about you?
Ugh. I don't know. I don't know if I would call it toxic. I was in like a 5-year relationship,
Okay.
4.5. And I just think we were young. We started dating when I was 16.
Yeah.
To like 2021. So it was one of those things where I feel like, when you outgrow people,
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, I'm also trying to be nice on this pod also.
Yeah.
But he he did cheat, but like I also feel like, not to give him like an excuse, but we were younger, 16 or whatever
Yeah.
to 21.
How was like the transition of like
Oh shit.
going to college? Because
Ooh.
like when you're very young and you're in a relationship and
Yeah.
then once it hits where like you're graduating, you're about to go to college, that's when I feel like everything starts to like shake up.
Trickle. It was hard because he did come to visit me my freshman year and stuff like that. And it was decent, but I feel like being away from each other definitely caused more issues because it was like I want to see you all the time and stuff like that, but obviously we couldn't. I don't think my freshman year I didn't have a car. So it's not like I could go home and like drive to you or whatever. Like I couldn't do that. So
What was the distance like?
2 hours. It
Okay.
was like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Actually, it might have been. Well, he was in the military. Was he in the military? Yeah, he was in the military. So
Okay.
it was sometimes it was maybe like 4 hours or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it was tough, but I think I got to a point where like honestly, when I got older, it got to a point where I was like, all right, like you're doing the same shit you were doing before.
Yeah.
Like, come on, let's
Yeah.
let's
it just
grow
you get
up.
annoyed and it's kind of
Yeah.
like I'm not
I
feeling
mean,
it.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. College guys ain't no better. So
Yeah. Do you feel like as you got older, did he like change in a
No.
way of like no?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I think
Because like you meet new people and like
Yeah.
you get new experiences, and then that person
Yeah,
it
tries
starts
to-
to like they're not the person that you were once dating when.
Well, I think he did change, but in a way of like I started to realize what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, and I wouldn't say like in a negative light, but I just realized that we were definitely growing out of each other. Like
Okay.
there was just like, okay, like we just need to go our separate ways. Like I love you a lot. I really do care about you, and I still do, obviously. But it just comes to a point where it's like it's just not working, and I just refused at the time to like continue to just go down the path just because I was comfortable in it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why a lot of us stay is because like we get very comfortable in what we're in,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really what it was. It was just like I'm comfortable.
Yeah. Was it your first relationship or?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my only relationship still to this day.
Okay.
I haven't been in a relationship like a real one.
I would agree on that. I mean, like
Yeah.
I dated like another person, but like you know, nowadays there's situationships
Relationships,
involved and stuff.
exactly.
So like it was more of a relationship without a label. And
Yeah.
so I just say like, oh yeah, I dated that person.
Yeah, I like a real relationship was the one from high school. I haven't been,
Yeah.
excuse me, in a real relationship since then. Like, you know, talk to boys here and there, but like nothing serious or nothing that where a guy said like, "Hey, I want to date you," and
Yeah.
I haven't had that since that one.
Yeah.
So
No.
this is a topic.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know, like I just feel like dating nowadays is just so
Yeah.
different.
How do you
Like,
feel about like obviously in college?
mhm.
How do you feel about like that like college like woo, dating in college? Like, how do you
Yeah.
feel about just that overall?
So last year when I was
Mhm.
in my situationship or whatever, I was
Mhm.
dating the guy. I dated him for about like 10 months.
Okay.
And I started dating him like once I entered into college.
Okay.
Like I wasn't like, it was just like fresh off the bat. Like I was in
Yeah.
college, you
Oh,
know?
shoot.
So it wasn't bad for
Mhm.
me personally. I feel like everybody is different. For me personally, I'm just one where like I'm very headstrong about school. And school is
Yeah.
my number one priority. So like a relationship or dating someone isn't gonna be a distraction for
Gotcha.
me.
Okay. Thanks.
However though, I feel like I didn't make good decisions
Okay.
because there was times where like me and the guy would like hang out really late. Like really like 8 in the
Yeah.
morning. Like yeah, like it was bad. Like we would break night together and then like I would be tired and like I'll
Yeah.
still do my work.
Work,
Like
yeah.
but it was just the fact that I'm tired. Like
Yeah,
why
you're
am I
exhausted.
breaking night on a school night?
Yeah.
So I think those things is kind of like okay, now it's
Okay.
hard. So you kind of have to have boundaries when it comes
Yeah.
to that. But other than that, like I was just very focused with school. So he wasn't a distraction to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I even had like if there was days that I was hanging out with him or stuff, like he would help me with my work.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Never had that.
Yeah. No, but like I would tell him like I have to do an essay, like you need to help me.
I'm weak.
Yeah.
See, I think for me, I just never. I don't know. Like I'm one of those people like I like to be like loved and like
Yeah.
be like your attention. And I get that everybody has lives, and as I get older, that's obviously something that I'm starting to realize because I can't give somebody all this attention. Like, you're not the only thing that I have to pay attention
Yeah.
to. But I have recognized that like people make time for who they want to make time for. But I feel like in college, I had a situationship, but why is this so fucking funny? But I had a situationship
Because it doesn't sound right.
Yeah,
A
like,
situation, but it's normal now.
it's literally we have normalized situationships. But
Yeah.
for me, I just feel like being in a situationship or whatever the hell you want to call what we were, this whole like not having a title thing, I just feel like I don't like it. I'd rather you tell me up front
Yeah.
and be like, hey, this is what it is and this is what it's not.
Right.
Rather than just being like, oh, well, like, I think you're cool, whatever. Like, a lot of girls would rather you tell us the truth. And I get it. Some guys will be like, no, y'all don't. Like, listen.
Yeah.
Like me, I would rather you just be honest.
Right. Like just keep it real.
Yeah,
like-
because sometimes I might be on the same time.
But you know what? I feel like too, a lot of guys like they could say it, but then they'll still lead you on.
Yeah.
And kind of be like they still want the benefit. So
yeah.
it's like they're not really keeping away from you. It's like, okay, you don't want a relationship, but you're still bothering me.
Exactly. I don't know. I feel like guys in college, I get it. And I feel
Yeah.
like girls in college too, like we want to have fun. That's obviously
Yeah.
the point. Like I'm going to get my education and I'm literally going to be a young adult. Like I'm
Yeah.
literally hitting that age where like I can do, in a sense, whatever I want. I have my
Yeah.
own responsibilities. I don't have to get home at, a certain time. My parents understand like, oh, you're a college kid now. So I think even being in the world of like dating, especially in your 20s, like now, it just sucks. Like,
Yeah.
there's just no, and for the people that are in relationships, good fucking job. Like,
Yeah.
keep that person around. But like for us who are obviously struggling in our 20s,
Yeah. I just feel like being with like a toxic relationship or like a situationship, it's just no point of doing it when you're in your 20s. It's
Yeah.
like I'm here to have fun.
yeah.
And it's like if you're not benefiting me in
Yeah.
a way that like adds to my life in my 20s.
So how do you
like,
feel about like dating then in like college and like your 20s?
Well, now it's a different situation because now that I've dated the person or whatever,
Yeah.
it's kind of like I don't want to date. So
Mm,
it's kind of like, okay, like we could be messing around and stuff,
yeah.
but it wouldn't be something where it's serious unless like you're really like the one for me.
So what do you
So,
think about like if you did find somebody in college, right?
yeah.
And they kind of like were like not the perfect person, but
Yeah.
y'all had a thing. Like, do you think it would last?
Yeah, if they're the right person.
Yeah.
If they're the right person, it's gonna last. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
in order for me to be serious with someone or
Mhm.
like be like, okay, like I could do a relationship, like they really have to be the one.
Really?
Yeah, but then it's like it's hard to trust too.
Yes.
Because you could think somebody's the one and then they're not.
Ooh, preach to
So,
the choir.
yeah.
Because I feel like even now, like me, obviously in the dating pool for us, we still have a dating pool, like a real
Yeah.
dating pool. And I look at it and I'm like, okay, I'm, talking, if I'm talking to a guy who's 25 years old but you act like you're younger than me, I'm like, okay. And I feel like dating in college has helped me or dating in general in the 20s, has helped me to understand what I like and what I don't like.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I've been around guys that I could tell, like, I know, like, what type of time I'm on, in a sense, like, I know we're friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then some guys get, like, touchy, and that's when you're like, like,
Yeah.
either you like me or you're just a flirty person, whatever. I know I'm a flirty person. I, hands down, can, like, honestly say I am. But I'm also flirty to the people I want to be flirty with.
Yeah.
So it's not everybody.
Right.
So when people feel like that.
Do you feel like you could flirt and not realize?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, I had friends where they're like, I didn't know I was flirting. And I was like, you were flirting. Like,
Yeah.
And then it gives like a mixed signal.
Yeah. I feel like I've done that before, but I also feel like I've done that purposely. Like, I know I've done it and I'm like, I'm definitely flirting. But like, I'm also one of those people who, like, I will flirt, but I also don't know when somebody's flirting with me.
Yeah.
So
it's all about being direct. Yeah. It's just like, or like we could flirt, but it's like, what are you going to do about it?
Exactly.
Like, are you going to take me on a date? If not, okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
You know?
Because if you're not going to take me on a date, then
no.
I'm just.
It's like, what are you talking to me for?
Exactly. I feel like this is the part where, like, people, especially, like, try to understand of, I feel like guys are like, y'all don't know what y'all want. No, it's not that I don't know what I want. It's the fact that, like, if I'm giving you a certain type of energy and that energy is not reciprocated, I am not going to waste my time.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
So, like, even being in college, like, there has been guys where there was one guy, he finally took me on a date after knowing him for fucking 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And my senior year, he's like, hey, I'm going to take you out. Fucking God.
But it's like, why it has to take that
4
long?
years. And then other nerds to tell me he could see himself marrying me, which, listen, that struck I was like, what the fuck? But
it's like they just be saying anything.
bro, I was like, what? It was like, now I was like, okay. But even that situation, I was like, okay, like, even after 4 years, fine, whatever. You took me out, whatever, and it was good, but also it was too late. Like, it got to a point where it was like, and I was in my head, I was like, oh my God, like, I'm excited, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. But I was like, you're literally
Did he ever
4
say
years too late.
why? Like, or like, were you guys talking, or like, was it something where like he finally admitted, like, okay, I want to take you on a date?
I don't remember. I think it was like finally admitting, like, I want to take you out.
Yeah.
Because we had planned it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm also not one for the not being straightforward. Like, if you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
So I feel like there was a lot of, like, mixed signals. It was like, oh, I want to take you out. But then, like, there wasn't a chance to do it. And I was like, listen, I'm not going to force your hand and put a sword to your neck to take me out. If you want to do it, you're going to do it. So when he finally did it, it was like, oh, like, great. But then in the back of my head, I'm like, girl, you waited 4 years for this.
Right. Was it worth it?
No.
Why?
Because it was like 4 years.
Yeah.
By that time, like, I was wanting someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But that person had kind of, like, ghosted me.
Okay.
So it was like, okay, well, like, I'll go out on this date or whatever, see where it goes. And then that motherfucker had the nerve to pop back up. And I was like,
oh.
Fucking great. And of course, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm a sucker. So like I was like, okay, let's see how this, works. Because obviously I'm off and on with you more than I am him. It's been 4 years
Yeah.
since I've even heard from him. But I don't know. I feel like the dating world, how was that in New York? Because
Girl.
the South is totally different. Give me a southern boy.
In New York,
I gotta admit, bro. I've been dealing, bro.
yo, you would think the city is so big, but it is so small.
I'm weak.
Like, you just never know who your man is fucking with.
That's so bad. The fact that sounds like a college campus.
Yo, like, New York, dating in New York is the worst.
Oh my god,
It's the
I
worst.
literally can't. Holy, she said, "Girl, this shit is horrible." Why?
What? Oh my god! And if you're dating a man from the Bronx, please. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
You said dating a man from the Bronx.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag.
So what is that like dating? In the city, like in the New York.
You just don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I just feel like
with guys,
yeah, you just don't know what to expect. And I mean, it's hard for me because I never dated someone out of New York.
Yeah.
So, or like talked to someone outside of New York. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That different. I would like to. Because
come to the South, girl.
It's not it. I need to because it's not it here.
I ain't gonna lie, they ain't no better, but like, they
Yeah.
I just feel like in North Carolina, one thing I've noticed with especially us being in the entertainment field or world, everybody know everybody.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to entertainment because it's fairly small. As much as people think it's New York, it's not that big.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're going to Atlantic Records, like it's very small. You're going to mingle. Same thing with sports. Now, in North Carolina, like not everybody wants to be entertainment. So it's kind of harder that everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
And I feel like when it comes to New York, like you're going to specific colleges. Like, I don't know. New York seems really big, but it's very small.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you go to the South, I mean, your man might not know girl from down the block.
Yeah.
But here, your man gonna know the girl from down the block.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just be like, damn.
And I feel like another thing too, we grew up way different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in New York is very fast.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that like we're too comfortable with.
Yeah,
here.
we be outside by 14 years old here.
Yeah.
Like you be at
and
parties.
then like even with like too, like you guys grow up to like getting a license.
Yeah.
Having those things for yourself. And a lot of people don't hear where they're
Yeah.
kind of just like, yeah, I don't want a license. I don't need a car and
need a
stuff.
car,
Which
yeah.
is nothing like wrong with that because we do live in a city and stuff, but it's still something you should have for yourself.
So
I feel like you guys grow up like this is what I need and
yeah.
people in New York don't.
That does make sense. How is like, what would be, I guess, for college or like being in college specifically, what specifically in college, Camden, I'm literally gonna say this on the mic. Camden was like, why is she throwing shade?
Wait, at what? At what part?
I'm weak. What part? Go ahead, talk. I'm literally keeping this in the pod. What talk? Say it, Cam.
Niggas not having a car and shit. I just feel like you attacking me personally, but it's all good though.
I feel like you're attacking me personally.
No, but for New York, it's normal, whatever.
Yeah.
However, though, I think you should have at least your license. Your
Yeah.
car, whatever.
Yeah, I
But
get
you
not
should have
having
your
a car
license.
in New York because I hate having my car here.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, I gotta find a parking spot. I gotta pay for a parking. $10 for 2 hours in the city is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like driving in North Carolina, a breeze.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you might get more accidents, but
Yeah.
because people are not on top of each other, so people are swerving, through traffic. But when it comes to New York, I'm like, why do like having a car is so pointless. But I also hate taking the train.
Yeah.
So.
And I think too, like even just getting out of New York, like you want to have a car. So
Yeah.
like I don't know. For me, I think it was just like, okay, I'm gonna get my license. And,
yeah.
like, that was gonna be something like an accomplishment, like
Yeah, period.
because it's not normal. Like
Yeah.
and yeah. So
What's your where do you want to like get out of New York eventually, or are you like one of those people that's like I'm staying?
You know what's crazy is that like I have a lot of things to say about New York where I'm like, oh, I don't like this and
Yeah.
that, but I'm a city girl. Like,
Yeah.
if I were to move out of New York, I have to be in another city.
City.
I just don't see myself in the suburbs, in a house. And you know what, too? I watch a lot of Lifetime.
Wait.
So I don't know. Every time I watch like a scary movie, scary show, whatever,
Yeah, it's in the country.
they're always in the house. You never see something in an apartment. Have you ever seen a scary movie in an apartment? No.
Yeah, no, I'm over here like,
you haven't. And it's always like in the scary movie, somebody comes from the back
Like,
door, the basement. It's
that
always
is-
something
that
like
is
that. You
very
don't have
true.
that in an apartment. You have one door. As an exit.
You have one in and one out. I mean, no, they have what World War Z was actually what about zombies and stuff like that, and it was in an apartment.
But zombies, is that a real thing?
I mean,
When you see like serial killers are real people.
Yeah.
That's real.
that is real. Yeah,
and
they
it
be at
always
houses.
happens.
Yeah,
in the
in the suburbs.
But there is people out here too. But
Yeah,
you know,
people are crazy, but
yeah.
overall, I feel like I don't know, it's just be like, obviously and let us know for sure, like, what y'all, females and males, like, how y'all feel about being in your 20s, like, what do y'all struggle with when it comes to, like, dating? Because honestly, like, I don't even think I have, like, a crazy high standard or anything like that. I just feel like I'm looking for somebody that is going to add to my life, and I know I have a lot of stuff going for myself.
Yeah.
And I want somebody that's coming into my life to also have that same ambition of, like, you know, I want this, I want that. Because as much as I want to help you, I want you to be able to help me.
Yeah.
So if I can kind of, like, fill your cup,
Mhm.
hey, I want you to fill my cup as well.
Yeah.
And even, I'm not even going to lie, the guy that I want, like, not even from, like, a guy that I'm talking to or whatever,
Mhm.
but, like, the guy that
I was like, whoa.
I know. I thought about it. I was like, let me chill out. But, like, the guy that I'm looking for, I guess, like, that dream guy, is, like, I know that I am very stubborn, but I also know, like, it does, like, when I like you, it's very hard for me to communicate, because like,
Okay.
I also don't want to, like, overspeak or anything like that. But I've met people who, these are just friends that have allowed me to be like, Maya, like, you need to talk. Like, you need to, I'm not gonna lie, there's one guy that gave me the ability to, like, talk. Shout out to him, even though I freaking hate him right now. But he gave me the ability where he's like, you have to communicate your words. Like, you can't just ghost me. And it's crazy because I don't like to be ghosted. But he would, like, you know, he would be like, you can't ghost me just because of the fact that, like, you don't know how to, you know, say what you needed to say. And I'm like,
yeah.
well, it works, damn it.
I feel like I have that problem too, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, if I'm one where, like, I need a guy to, like, hit me up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not one to be like, hey, I like you.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll do little things here and there to make it seem
like, yeah.
But you have to catch it. And
Yeah.
that's the problem, because it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, that is true.
But unfortunately, yeah. So, like, if I like your post, I'm like, just know. Like, you have to know. And it sounds horrible.
It
but like,
does. And that's the crazy thing, because, like, I feel like guys, it's easier for a guy to get rejected than the girl to get rejected.
yeah.
And I've seen so many, like, I don't mind, like, if somebody's like, oh, you're not my type.
Mhm.
Cool, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But all I gotta say is you better not slide back in when I am your type. I'm just saying. But, like, I feel like people, when it comes to that, it's just like, what do I need to do to, like, find a guy? And everybody talks about, like, you know, just let them come to you or whatever. But half of the time it's like, niggas don't become, like, they don't come. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Well, maybe it's not the right time.
Oh, I hate that. Because,
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, like, right now, I'm, like, in a sense, like, because in the South, obviously, I was in college, so, like,
Yeah.
I was around guys or whatever, or somebody that I liked. I was always around, like, at least one person that I had something with. So, coming to New York, girl, I don't even, like, guys will try to talk to me, and I'm just sitting there, like, I'm okay.
I'm picky.
I'm like, I'm okay.
That's how I am.
And I don't, and my brother said this too, and I think Cam said this too, and Rob, like, they've all said it to me, like, they think that I'm supposed to date somebody that's from the South.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to date somebody that's, you know, from the South. But I'm like, you know, I want to explore. I want to talk to people. Girl, I come up here and, I've
It's
got
ghetto.
messages like, I want to take you out and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm gonna be honest. If I have like ditched you about going out, 9 out of 10, I do not want to go out. I'm just honestly also scared to tell people no.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know how people are gonna react.
Okay.
Because there's been girls that tell guys no and they get shot. Like, there's just so much stuff that has happened to where that's why it's so hard for us girls to be like, no, like, I'm good. Like, some niggas out here are crazy. Like,
yeah.
and that's for everywhere, not just New York. That's for everywhere.
Yeah,
like,
it's definitely scary turning down a guy.
Because I'd be like, bro, like, if I tell you no, it's just a no.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like for us girls, it's like, yeah, it's hard. I feel like for us, it's harder to get rejected because we usually don't get rejected that much.
Yeah.
So even now, it's like when people are like, oh, like, I just don't want a relationship with you or whatever, and I see you in a relationship 2 months from now.
Yeah.
You could have just told me I wasn't the one you were looking for. That's fine. But it's like, dating in college, personally, for the people, like I said, that have, like, gotten in, like, have successfully stayed in a relationship in college, I say kudos, because what the fuck is the gift? Like, what?
Yeah.
Let us know, please.
I think it's a lot of just like putting up with stuff. Ugh. That sounds bad, but like a lot of the people I see in like long-term relationships where they're like in years and all that, they have been through a lot. Like, people think, oh, it's all peaches and creams because you've seen them together for so long, but it's not. Like,
9 out of 10, they probably
no
went
relationship
through
is
some
perfect.
shit.
Yeah,
I'd be like, and the crazy thing is, I'm not opposed to going through shit. It's just,
but it's like, how much can you tolerate?
Yeah, it's knowing my limit. So like, if I know that like I will not tolerate cheating, I'm not going to tolerate that.
Yeah,
I don't care if like the good days are better than the bad days. Like, if cheating becomes something that like you decide to do, and maybe I'll give you like one, I'll be like, okay, like, let's talk about it, whatever, why did you feel the need to do that, and we can actually like settle and be like, no, I want to fix this, and you genuinely want to fix this, then fine. But if it comes to a point where like you just don't, you're like, oh my gosh, like, it's not that serious, it's clip. Like, I think
there's certain levels too. Like, there's one thing to like make one mistake and feel like, oh damn, like I fucked up. And then there's one thing that's to like know what you're doing.
Exactly.
So it's like, if you know what you're doing and then you just got caught, and like, you're gonna do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
But if it's something where like you made a mistake and you realize, damn, like I fucked up, and you're willing to change, then okay. But like, even that too, you just never know.
I just feel like, you just never, and that's what I'm saying. Like, personally, I think dating in college is an amazing thing, because I feel like that's where you learn what you like, what you don't like, and dating in your 20s overall.
And you set standards too for yourself.
Yeah,
like,
especially in college. Yeah. Listen,
every relationship is going to be something
new. way new. Yeah. Because not only are you dating somebody on campus, 9 out of 10, listen, these girls be watching. Okay? So it's like, if you're dating somebody or whatever the case may be, and, you know, this girl, you're complaining to a girl or whatever, I always say that, like in college, at least if y'all are on the same campus, some girl has fucked with him. At least one girl has fucked with that man on that campus. So maybe 2, maybe 3. But, you know, it's just a matter of like what you're willing to take. If you're willing to be like, you know, that girl might come up to you and be like, yeah, I used to, you know, da-da-da.
Yeah.
It's a matter of like, are you willing to be like, oh my gosh, like, no? Or are you willing to be like, okay, and you were the past and I'm here now. So I just feel like in college, that's the only thing I always tell people is like, just know that unfortunately your man has been with somebody else on that campus.
Right.
It's just a matter of like, was that girl, you know, petty, or like, you know, it's just a lot.
Do you feel like there should be a limit to how many he's fucked with? Because what if he's fucked with a lot of girls? Like, how would you feel about that?
How many? Well, I personally can't talk to this, but if I had a choice, girls, maybe like 3.
Okay.
3 to 5. Like,
yeah,
5 is a lot, because it's like they got to be all from this different friend group. But obviously, going to a PWI, all the black girls know all the black girls usually, so it's kind of hard, and all the black boys know all the black girls. So it's like, that in that situation 3 because we all know each other. Right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But if it's like, you know,
I just like wouldn't want to like be blindsided. Like if you fucked with a lot of girls and then like
let me know.
Let's say like I'm chilling with Bestie. I think this girl like
no, for
and
real.
Then all of a sudden I find out and it's like damn.
Yeah.
Like,
at least tell me like, hey, I just want you to know I did fuck with so and so.
Exactly. Like be honest. And guys don't do that.
Be freaking honest. Like I don't know, but I also think like once you're honest, I feel like once something is communicated, for me, it's just letting me know how I can move with you.
Exactly.
Like if you just let me know, like, oh, this is the situation or whatever, I'll just figure out if I'm like, okay, I'm down, I'm still down.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
And I'd rather hear it from him than a girl coming up to me and I'm like, oh, like I didn't know about that.
Because now I look stupid.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna fuck you up.
And she's gonna be like, you didn't know this about your man? Like
exactly. I'd be like, girl, look, I'm one of those people. I'd be like, I guess not. Like, I'm not the one to like, on certain occasions, I'm not finna like argue with you because you're not the boy that I'm talking to or whatever. So it's like, I would just say, especially in college, just try your best to, if you are dating a girl, guy, whatever, or whatever the fuck it is, if it's a situationship, relationship, whatever you want to call it, just be honest with the guy or the girl and just let them know, like, listen, this is where I'm at. And if they're down for it, then they're fucking down for it. But you will never know unless you ask.
Exactly.
Like, if you literally ask and be like, hey, this is what it is, they might say no. They fucking might say yes. And then you're like, oh, shit. All I literally have to do is say something. And I get it. Sometimes you could be like, oh, I don't want to, you know, make people feel... Not who gives a fuck, but, like, just ask.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Damn. Shit.
But you know, the men still aren't gonna listen.
Yeah.
Well, let's not put too much on the men. Maybe.
Let's hope one guy that listens to this actually uses the advice of being like, you know what, you're fucking with a girl right now, and you're really either not looking for a relationship, but you really do fuck with her. And hey, maybe you do want to.
But that shouldn't be a thing either. Like, if you don't want a relationship, just don't fuck with the person at all.
See,
or the person has to have, like, if you know the person doesn't want a relationship either, then okay, like, mess around. But like, there's a limit to it because feelings do come about and everything.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you, that's where I feel like communication comes in. If you let them know, like, hey, I am not looking for something, but yes, I do want to, in a sense, still be friends with benefits. That, like I said, that person might be down for that, but you will never know unless you communicate that.
And then there's also limits too, because it's like, are you doing relationship things? Are you, because you could say,
that's a hard.
You could agree to be like, oh, let's be friends with benefits, and then you're doing relationship things.
Yeah, that is true. So basically, look, we're boundaries. If you're gonna do stuff like that, like, that's why I feel like it's always tricky, because it's like feelings are gonna be involved, regardless. And I think that's why maybe guys are like, oh, I'm not going to really say too much. I'm just going to let it happen. And if, you know, she feels some type of way, then but you also can't tell a girl, like, oh, you're mad crazy. Like, you can't do that. Because, like, at the same time, you put something in her head and you're doing stuff that makes her feel like that.
Like, you're sweet-talking her. You're doing all these things. And then you're going to be like, oh, yeah, she's crazy. Like,
like, that's why I feel like dating is in college or dating in the 20s are, like, difficult. Because, like, that's where I want to have fun. But I also want, in a sense, like, a companion.
Yeah.
Like, I just be like, well,
yeah, we're just in like a situationship apocalypse.
No, on God.
Because I feel like everybody that I talk to, they're like, yeah, I'm in a situationship.
I'd be like,
that's why I don't
want one. I just want to date around. That doesn't mean fucking everybody. Like, no, I just want to go on dates and figure out what I like and what I don't. That's where I am at.
Right.
And I feel like in your 20s or in college and stuff like that, or in general, obviously, Dorman 101 podcast, we're talking about college. For college students or college in general, I think you should just date as much as you can. If it turns into, you know, y'all having sex or whatever, fuck it.
It depends.
Yeah, I'm about to say
on the person.
It depends, but I feel like just date around and let that person communicate with that person where you are at. Like, hey, you're not the only person I'm talking to or whatever.
Yeah, that's another thing too. People have that conversation too late. It's like you're already 3-4 months in, and then why are we having this conversation now? Like, we should have had it in the beginning.
So yeah. So what are obviously this topic went about everything, but like, what's some advice you would give to those college students about just kind of dating in college and dating in the 20s?
Don't let the relationship take over like your priorities. Because it's like if you get too caught up in that person and like in that relationship, you're just not gonna focus on yourself. And then when you are single, you're gonna realize, damn, like I could have been putting all this time into myself.
Yeah.
Especially if that person's not the one. Like if the
Yeah.
person's the one, then it's like you gotta have you know yourself and then that person as well. But like if you really feel like you're getting red flags and that person's not the one, like don't consume too much of that person.
Yeah. I think for me, I just obviously being in like somewhat of a situationship, I just feel like for me communication from the jump would have been nice. Just and that's obviously also on my part. Like I think definitely say how you feel and mean what you say. If you're gonna do something, just make sure it's at the beginning. Like if you like her or him, just have that conversation. I mean, it's literally a conversation. And I feel like that's something that we all struggle with in our 20s is having those difficult conversations to be like, hey, like, I don't know where we're at.
Yeah.
But I would rather know now than later. So I would definitely just have that conversation with whoever you're in or, you know, may have feelings for. And if they give you, I'm gonna be honest, a bullshit answer where you're even second guessing like what, it's run. Fucking run.
No, for real.
Like, if it's not a concrete answer and you're sitting there like, what? If
and like
you
no matter
what,
if like you feel like you're ready, like you're gonna do it no matter what.
Yeah, you're like it's still your
and
decision.
I think some people too, they'd be like, oh, like I can't be in a relationship because this and that.
Yeah.
And it's like if you feel that way, don't bother or waste the other person's time. Like if you know like you're not in a position to have a relationship and you know that like this person will catch feelings for you or like you would catch feelings for this person, like just don't do it.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
but if you are toxic, hey, whatever floats your boat.
Yo.
If you are toxic, whatever floats your boat. But you know, that's totally up to you.
Yeah.
But
just some healing too. Because there's so many people unhealed. It's like,
no, for real. If you were in a really bad relationship and stuff, and I get it, everybody has like the whole phase and stuff like that, but like you're gonna get out of it and you're gonna want to heal and you're gonna have a lonely phase too. So you might as well just get it over with because you go through that relationship, your whole phase, and then you heal. At least from a girl's point of view, like some guys just I feel like for girls, I went through a healing phase first where I literally cried all the time. And then I worked on myself. I started going to the gym. It's
usually like that, though.
I went to the gym.
Girls, I feel like girls always cry in the beginning. They're kind of just like,
I was devastated.
Yeah,
even
that's
in
how
the
girls are.
I was like bro,
men, like, when
they will go outside.
And then they feel it later.
Yes.
Like, at least for girls, it's like, okay, we're going to feel it in the beginning, but then we're going to be good
afterwards. I'm gonna be straight. That's why I was like, even now I'm like, definitely we're definitely different because even thinking about guys now, it's like they'll cheat, they'll do all this stuff, and then they'll go mess with another girl while you're literally like, damn, like, how'd you,
like they don't care, but they're gonna realize it later on.
Yeah, and then by that time, it's like I look better, I feel better, like,
and I think that's the best revenge you could have on someone.
You have to kill them with kindness. Listen, that is probably the one I can generally say. If there's one advice I will give is kill them with kindness, because you making somebody feel the same way they made you feel,
you're only hurting yourself.
You're literally only hurting yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because literally what happens is that person can never go back and be like, well, she did X, Y, and Z to me.
Exactly.
Like when the boys ask him, so like, yo, what happened? He can't say, well, she such and such was yelling and he can't even do that.
Nope.
He gonna be like, I fucked up, man.
I fucked up.
That's
I fumbled. You fumbled.
That's literally it. There's no other thing. If you literally just kill him with kindness, as long as you listen, you want to do that, bet, and you just walk away. There's nothing he will be able to say.
Walk away gracefully. That's it.
Walk away gracefully.
Yeah.
Okay, walk away gracefully. But once again, guys, this is Dorm Room 101 podcast with my roommate over here, Victoria. You will be seeing her way more, and that's on period. And we will see you guys in our next video. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and put that bell on and follow us on our social media.
Yes.
Period. Bye.
Bye.
Once again, another good fucking episode.